Right now, an affordable housing crisis. How a southern Wisconsin community is trying to raise awareness to find a solution.
And a lawsuit here in Wisconsin to stop President Biden from paying out student loan relief. Who's filing and the chance it has at succeeding.
And of course, the kids are goofing off this morning. We are getting you out the door. We've got your current conditions coming up just before daybreak. We're talking about a big cold front that's on the way, though.
Chris Stanford, 40 going on 4, just having a party out here. Throwing stuff. To be fair, beautiful day out here. It feels so mild.
Okay, I don't believe the temperature. Like, because what?
I agree.
The thermostat, what's it say? What's it say over
Thermostat.
there? The thermometer.
The thermometer right there. Yeah, feeling pretty good out here.
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. Not nearly as cold as what the temperature may suggest this morning.
So the temperature suggests it's 42 degrees.
Is our thermometer off a little bit?
It's that thermometer sitting in direct light, too.
That's true.
Yeah, it's got 51.
Yeah.
We're being fooled here.
I was like, that one says 51. It's 42.
It does not feel like it, to be fair. It's beautiful out here.
It feels pretty awesome, and it's going to stay awesome as we go throughout today. But changes are brewing, my friends. 43 now at the airport. We've warmed up a degree. How about that one? That's where the heat's coming from. We'll see those temperatures continue to warm up as we go throughout today. Watoma, you are at 39 degrees this morning. 47 in Monroe, still 50 in Mineral Point, 51 in Viroqua. So there are a couple spots where those temperatures are being reported into the 50s. We're at 59 by the time we get you towards 10 o'clock, topping out at 66 for lunchtime. We get even warmer, though, because we do go all the way up to 70 for your high this afternoon. Here's what we're looking at. Doppler track is quiet for us at the moment. You see a couple of green blobs there trying to show up to the west. That is a rain chance that will ultimately begin to come our way. It is this rain chance that will bring in the winds of change, and that is where we begin to track a big cold front that is moving our direction. That's also where our frost potential comes from later on this week. Coming up in a bit, I'm going to show you guys a checklist for how you can prepare your gardens, your plants for the frost, everything that you can do to stay one step ahead. We love to give you the first warn. No one is surprised when you're watching us. We've got that for you coming up, plus the extended forecast towards the rest of the week.
It's a good list, too. Some things on there that I didn't think about doing this time of year.
Certainly.
Stick around for that. To our top headlines this morning, the Madison Common Council will interview a list of people to fill a vacant alder seat later this month.
Shane Hogan has information on the applicants and why there's a vacancy in the first place. Good morning, Shane.
Good morning, Leah. The Common Council will interview 6 people to potentially fill the vacant District 17 alder seat. The seat is currently empty after Alder Gary Halverson resigned when his name appeared on a leaked list of members who paid to be a part of the far-right group, the Oath Keepers. Halverson said he was misled about joining the group and resigned after he said his home was vandalized. The city of Madison opened applications to fill Halverson's seat in the days following his resignation. The next step is for the Common Council Executive Committee to meet on the 20th to interview the 6 candidates and recommend one to the Common Council. The new interim District 17 alder will be appointed on the 25th and will serve until April 18th of 2023. You can find a full list of the applicants and their backgrounds up on channel3000.com.
All right, Shane Hogan reporting for us this morning. Thank you, Shane.
New this morning, Madison police are looking for a man who broke into an apartment on campus and sexually assaulted the resident.
Pretty scary story here. Again, just off the UW campus. Officers say it happened around 4 a.m. Sunday morning. The man apparently removed a window screen from an apartment in the North Park Street and Farrenbrook Court area. The victim says they woke up to the man assaulting them. This is the second sexual assault near campus in the last week. If you know anything about it, you should call the Madison Area Crime Stoppers. And in Beloit this morning, advocates for affordable housing want to hear how they can help more people find a home.
Wisconsin Affordable Housing Service providers hosted a listening session in Beloit to better understand how the system can improve. They also wanted to let anyone who may need assistance know what services are in place. With inflation, the average cost to build an affordable housing unit is up. It's at $300,000 now. Organizers say affordable housing is in a crisis, and individual communities can play a big part in that change. Right now, more than 350,000 households in Wisconsin spend half of their income just on rent.
We're really hoping that local groups will take an activist approach to problem solving in their communities, and that we can funnel this into a statewide effort to begin to make change.
Since February of 2021, more than $200 million in American Rescue Plan rental assistance went out to 48,000 households across the state. $27 million of that went to Rock and Walworth counties. Even though organizers say the money can speak for how much affordable housing is needed, they hope that people experiencing homelessness could share their stories with local officials and community members to show affordable housing is more than a financial issue. It's a human one.
Around the state, a conservative Wisconsin law firm is suing President Biden to stop student loan forgiveness.
The Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty filed the suit against the president, claiming that his plan is unconstitutional. Braden Ross reports.
Once a loan is forgiven, it can't really be undone.
The Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty is moving fast to stop student loan forgiveness.
We need a judge to step in quickly, and we hope that a judge will, and if not, we will appeal this all the way to the Supreme Court.
Today, the conservative law firm announced a lawsuit against President Biden over his student loan forgiveness plan. Dan Lennington, an attorney on the suit, says it's all about the taxpayers.
We think that that's just a breathtaking usurpation of congressional authority to tax and spend, and that we're not going to stand idly by while he does this.
The lawsuit claims Biden doesn't have the authority to order student loan forgiveness in a program they say could cost up to $1 trillion. It also argues the program is discriminatory because Biden has said it's specifically aimed at helping Black borrowers.
The idea there is that our laws, our Constitution, need to be colorblind, and our Constitution demands that they're colorblind.
The lawsuit is the third filed to challenge Biden's plan, and as UW law professor Howard Schwaber explains, it might have teeth.
This gets to a basic separation of powers question. With the current version of the Roberts Court, I think it's quite possible that if this goes to the Supreme Court, the challengers will win.
For News 3 Now, I'm Braden Ross.
The suit asked that a judge immediately block forgiveness of student loans until the lawsuit plays out.
It's 6:06. We're inching closer to Jim Leonard's debut as interim head coach for the Badger football team. It's happening Saturday against Northwestern. This week, it's about finding balance. Jim Leonard, of course, not wanting to dismiss the work Paul Chris did over the years, but he also has to get the team ready for that game. His first press conference as head coach yesterday. During it, Leonard said he actually loves where the team is at. They had a great workout and practice the last 2 days since the news broke.
I like guys, how they bounce back and just buckle down, get to work. Clean day of practice today. Plenty of things to clean up, like the effort. The energy was high, which was pleasing to see, and as always during the game week, we got to clean up a lot of details before we get to Saturday.
The Badgers kick off in Evanston against Northwestern this Saturday at 2:30. Zach and Jim Polzin, they're going to have much more on Leonard taking over the program, this upcoming game, and what happened last week against Illinois in this week's Badger Blueprint that airs tonight on News 3 Now at 10.
Coming up, Culver's comes through with some cheesy news. The sandwich sensation, it's bringing back.
And a Wisconsin man taking over the national airwaves with his pumpkin carving abilities, where you can watch.
Fall in love with a stylish and quality dining room set this fall, like my Montana Dining Collection. Get the table with 6 chairs, only $9.99, or table, 4 chairs, and storage bench, still only $9.99, with financing options to fit your budget.
Get Boss discount! The women I see have been through brutal, unimaginable things. I'll never understand why politicians like Ron Johnson make it so hard for women. He supported the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade, outlawing abortion in Wisconsin. Even for victims of rape and incest, abortion is criminalized in Wisconsin. Doctors can be prosecuted. My most vulnerable patients will have nowhere to turn. Ron Johnson doesn't care about us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
The Internet of Things is evolving, creating the Internet of You. And Spectrum, America's leading internet and mobile provider, is bringing you seamless connectivity across all your devices. Introducing Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet with speeds of 300 megabits, advanced Wi-Fi, and Spectrum Mobile Unlimited, all for just $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999. Spectrum Internet delivers speeds up to a gig with over 99.9% network reliability. Advanced Wi-Fi provides enhanced security and privacy that automatically blocks threats to protect all of your devices. And Spectrum Spectrum Mobile gives you unlimited talk, text, and data with nationwide 5G and the most reliable service coast to coast. Switch now. Call 833-673-4999. At Spectrum, it's not just about connecting things, it's about connecting you. Get it all with Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet, Advanced Wi-Fi, and one line of Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999 or visit a Spectrum store today.
No one goes all in on made-from-scratch freshness like Papa Murphy's. Because when you go all in, people notice. Go all in with the Triple Pet Pizza for just $11.99. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
Most senators couldn't tell you the cost of a gallon of milk. Thanks, Ruben. Or how much beef has gone up this year. But I'm not like most senators or any of the other millionaires running for Senate. My mom was a teacher and my dad worked third shift. I know how hard you work. And I know that by bringing manufacturing home, we create jobs and we lower costs. If we want to change Washington, we got to change the people we send there. I'm Mandela Barnes and I approve this message.
Celebrate the fall by falling in love with a room of your dreams. You'll find complete dining sets starting at $5.99, sofas starting at $4.99, and even more savings on bedrooms, mattresses, and more, with many financing options available.
Big Boss Discount!
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Have you heard? Culver's made a huge announcement.
Oh yeah, diehards, listen up. A one-time sensation making its return to restaurants.
Don't make a mess. Good? See, now you can't talk with your mouth full. That's what I always do too. My turn.
Look at the cheese.
Holy cow.
That's amazing. You like that?
You really like that.
I really.
Like you really enjoyed it.
Note to self: don't eat food live on television and then re-air it a year later. Yeah. It's painful to listen to. I did really like this. It was phenomenal. The Curter Burger. It went viral last year. It sold out in minutes across Wisconsin. We had like a Curter Burger watch going on here in the newsroom. We were trying to alert folks where they still had stock. It was all gone by noon at the latest. We can attest to its tastiness, too. I was the first one in line at the Mineral Point Road location last year to lock in my own purchase.
All right, so this year, they're going to expand the window for you. You can pick up the Curter Burger, available at any Wisconsin Culver's, starting October 12th through the rest of the month. We're going to give you another sneak preview coming up on this later this week. We'll look at the burger again, and we'll have an interview with Culver's on why it took so long to bring back.
Culver's offering up a Curter Burger taste this week, and we couldn't say no. No, I'm going to try not to put video of me eating it on air. Just switch it over to Chris Stanford.
Let's re-edit that. Slow it down, zoom it in. Shall we?
Not feeling so well.
I'll save that for your birthday.
Thank you, thank you. What a gift. You truly are a gift. Okay, Pretty Woman the Musical is coming to the Overture this fall.
Do you like musicals?
I do. I love musicals. I love musicals. I think they're phenomenal. I'm excited for this. We're excited, and we're hoping to get you there. The show runs October 18th through the 23rd. We want to give you hundreds of dollars in gift cards and tickets.
With a beautiful vibrato singing voice like that.
Church music is my specialty.
Yeah, the musicals, you and musicals are just where it's at.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so let's get back to the prizes for you folks. $100 gift cards to Needed Relief Spa and Wellness. We have pairs of tickets to the show to give away, a big grand prize too, a $500 gift card, and those tickets, all you gotta do is go to our contest page, channel3000.com/contests.
Time is winding down. Meantime, for our Coats for Kids campaign, just a couple days left. Let's take a look at the latest total. We have cracked the 2,800 mark here. That's how many winter coats have been collected so far. You have until October 8th to drop off any gently used kids' winter coat at any area Clinky Cleaners. Mittens, hats, snow pants, all that kind of stuff can be donated. You can also buy a coat off of our Amazon wish list. We have a link to it over on channel3000.com/coats4kids.
We need your help, folks. Let's get those donations in before it's all over. Time's running out.
It is.
Let's get to Chris Reese now. It's getting close to coat weather. I mean, we're comfortably in jacket weather, almost to coat weather.
It's getting close.
Getting close.
That's the way he said it. You all can't see him at home. He said it's getting close. It is getting a little close out there. Temperatures are certainly starting to come down for this time of the year, and we've got a big cold front getting ready to move through as well. For this morning, not too bad. 50 in Mineral Point, 39 in Wautoma, 39 for Sauk City. Mount Horeb, you held on to 50 for so long, but you've dropped to 49 at this point. 45 in Oregon, 41 for Stoughton, 46 in Sun Prairie, and then, of course, 43 at the Dane County Regional Airport. So that's the official temperature. Now more cloud cover being reported, and we will likely see a little bit more cloud cover as that day goes on. Temperatures top out around 70. You'll see some peaks of sun, too, but you're going to see filtered cloud cover. That's ahead of a rain chance, and that rain chance will bring a wave of low pressure that taps into this cold air over Canada that is on the move southward right here into the upper Midwest and Great Lakes. So this is why our temperatures are slated to really cool off later on this week. That's the brand of chilly air that I've been talking about really since last week, and we want to make sure that no one's surprised by it. So highs will be in the 40s and 50s. Your overnight lows will be down around 30, and because of this, a freeze is possible. Really, at this point, a freeze is becoming a little bit more likely as well. And here's some of the things that you can do to prepare for that. I'll make sure that this gets posted on social media this morning. Harvest any of your warm season crops. I'm sure folks are already on that. But also watering dry soil. That'll help keep that soil a little bit warmer. Cover any plants, that's normal, but pinch off any buds as well. If you haven't done so already, when you pinch off those buds, that plant can spend all of the rest of its energy protecting what's already there from the frost. Mulch the soil to keep that covered, and then bring in any potted plants that you're able to bring inside. A little bit of rain is going to try to come our way as we go through tonight into tomorrow. It's not a lot of rain, but we will see a chance for those showers, and the best chance really comes in from the north and west, and that's going to be late morning tomorrow, because at this point at 6 o'clock today, a couple of showers will be possible towards the west, where at 2 to 3 a.m. those showers fizzle out, but 10 to 11, that's where we see our best chance for some showers moving in from the north and west tomorrow. It's not overly impressive, but we do have that chance to see those raindrops with the high of 60. Falling into the 50s for the rest of your afternoon, 48 on Friday for the high, 60s will return as we move into next week.
Chris Reese giving us the first, second, third, fourth warn on that frost. You've been ringing the alarm all week on that.
Of course, like I said, no surprises with us.
We love it. Chris Reese, thank you very much. So what do you do if your health insurance refuses to cover a test, a treatment, or a medication your doctor says you need? Before you dig into your savings and pay out of pocket, Consumer Report says you have a guaranteed right to appeal, and it's not that hard to do. According to a report from the Kaiser Family Foundation, about 18% of in-network claims from people insured through an Affordable Care Act plan were denied in 2020. But that doesn't mean you should immediately pay for the treatment yourself, or worse, go without care. Consumer Report says you have the right to appeal the decision, and that goes for Medicare or private health insurance. Step 1, call your insurance company to make sure there wasn't an error with your claim.
Mistakes can and do happen at multiple points in the claim filing pre-authorization process. They can be relatively easy to fix once you identify them.
If it wasn't a mistake, ask to speak to the reviewer behind the decision and request an explanation. You'll need this information for your next step, filing a formal appeal specifically stating you disagree with the decision.
You're going to ask your doctor to write a letter to explain why the procedure is necessary and to include any documentation to help support that, like your medical records and treatment studies and any communication with the insurance company.
Doctors are used to this, so don't be afraid to ask. The next step might be the hardest, waiting. It could take 30 days or longer for an answer, but if you need the denied treatment right away, make sure you request an expedited review.
So if you get a letter that the insurer is still denying the claim, know that both Medicare and private insurance companies are required by law to provide the reason in writing, as well as explain how to appeal the decision with an independent third party.
And if you get your insurance through your employer, consider asking your company's Human Resources Department to help. If your claim was denied by Medicare, you can consider getting legal help to have your case heard before a judge.
Consumer Reports with that pretty valuable information there, I thought.
Yeah, really good stuff this morning. It's an important question to answer.
6:19. Looking ahead this morning, it's a dream come true for a former Wisconsin man who now lives in Rockford.
This guy's so talented. Take a look at this. So this is Lincoln Bias. He is a self-taught pumpkin carver who now finds himself in the spotlight among the nation's best. A casting company reached out to him on Facebook and asked if he wanted to be on a Food Network show.
Huh.
They wanted to know if I was interested in being on the show. And I said yes, and the next thing I know, I'm on the Food Network.
It's pretty cool.
Look how detailed and intricate these look. What talent. He didn't always carve pumpkins. He specializes in turning fruits and vegetables into flowers, and he used those skills to transition into carving faces on pumpkins. You can see the work yourself. You can catch Season 3 of Outrageous Pumpkins now on Food Network.
Love Wisconsinites doing big things.
Yeah, so go root them on Food Network.
That's pretty cool.
Outrageous Pumpkins. Coming up next, some motivation to help out your neighbor when they need it.
And in our next half hour, the options for the judge in Darrell Brooks' trial if he keeps disrupting the process.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by Shopco Optical.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
My name is Mike Williams. I've been driving school bus off and on for 21 years. Here at our terminal, we're kind of like a family too. Somebody has an issue with a bus, other people kick in and help and get the job done.
You've probably heard by now, but Wanakee Remodeling has been transforming homes for the better part of half a century by installing materials that stand the test of time from a team of trusted home pros. Our design team delivers a turnkey experience for your interior or exterior remodeling project, leaving you with the home you love. At Wanakee Remodeling, we'll never stop improving. Right now, get a special window offer. Buy one window, get one 40% off plus special financing. Visit WanakeeRemodeling.com for more.
I'm Sheriff Jim Johnson. I'm Sheriff Eric Severson. We've got the real story on Mandela Barnes. Barnes wants to defund our police, but he spent over $600 grand of your money on police protection for himself. Barnes wants to eliminate bail for violent felons, and his administration has already released over 800 criminals, including 44 child rapists. Take it from us. Mandela Barnes policies are a threat to your family.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Leisure Concepts has your new hot tub in stock and ready for immediate delivery. Steel and composite construction, whisper quiet perimeter insulation, ozone, UV, and salt systems on any model. Free delivery, cover lift, steps, training, and all at the lowest price. Learn to love winter fully submerged in hot, turbulent water. Get to Leisure Concepts and see almost 70 hot tubs in our packed showroom on the Beltline at the Park Street exit.
For the plunge you never thought they'd take. For the day you never thought would come. For all the years that have come and gone.
For all those special moments that make life worth living. Diamond Select, downtown Stoughton.
How do you use your energy? Inspiring a spark of creativity? Working hard to reach your goals? Thinking outside the box to bring your vision to life? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power, we're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobuson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobuson.com to apply.
Welcome back. We always ask you to share your morning with us. And Michelle, answering the call. Take a peek at that foggy, nice morning.
Oh, the fog in the fall, this time of year. There's so much going on. You know, you got the colors, the fog, the different sun angle now. It's making for some really cool pictures, and this one is a beaut. Michelle, thanks for sending that in. Share your morning with us. Use the hashtag MyNews3Morning when you post on social media so we can find it.
624 trending this morning. The people of Frost, Minnesota, near the Iowa border, are coming together to support a local farmer who is harvesting his yearly crop.
If this isn't a testament to just how much farmers have each other's backs, I don't know what is. So in mid-August, farmer Scott Legreed of Frost was injured in an accident, but it's harvest time, and he's injured, and he can't do it himself. So all of his neighboring farms came together and harvested his entire crop for him.
And you know how big of a deal this is because they have their own farms to tend to. They have their own harvests to figure out before the end of the season. They came together and just added a couple, hours work. At least a couple hours work, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, it's incredible, and you'd love to see it. It just goes to show you just how much they all have invested in each other's success. These families all know each other. I mean, you know how the rural families are. There's always like a handful of families, and they've all grown up together. They know each other, and boy, you love to see them come to the rescue of one of their fellow farmers in need. A little something we could all take away from this.
I was going to say, Midwestern camaraderie is something special.
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a takeaway there, right? You said it best, maybe that's going to inspire all of us to take care of our neighbors today.
I know, because we're all in it together, folks.
In the words of Charlotte DeLeste, do something good today.
Do something good today.
Yeah.
Love your neighbor, folks. Be out there. Hey, I'll tell you what, if you're headed to the bus stop, not too bad. Not too bad. We were outside without jackets. We did okay. Temperatures will be in the mid-40s. We are going to see a little bit more cloud cover rolling in today. Bus drop-off time, though, will be up around 70 degrees. That's where I expect those highs to top out. So not too bad of a day. Tomorrow's, you might need the umbrella just a little bit.
All right. Keep it here, folks. More News 3 Now this morning, right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Did you know Tim Michaels said people shouldn't be openly gay in public?
But I think when you bring it out of your house and onto the public street, that's where I differ.
Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as your governor?
Reviews are very important. It really reflects on how we're handling customers at Precision Door. It's feeling like I'm helping out my neighbor. Quality service quickly from a name you can trust.
Precision Door service, a name you can trust.
If you overdraw your account, Wells Fargo gives you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with a grace period? Like accidentally parking where you shouldn't.
Hey, what about this one? Nah, that one gets an extra day. Somebody got lucky.
Like having an extra day grace period? When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
People remember ads with young people having a good time. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's a pool party.
Good times insurance.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I'm Bob Adcock with Circle A Land and Livestock, and this is my John Deere. We've been with Sloan Implement since my father started farming, my grandfather started farming. They are a family business that's been around for generations, and that's very important to us. The personnel, the customer service that they provide, it's maybe not, you could say Sloan's first, but they put customers first. And that's why I think Sloan's first.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers, and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want. and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Qualified lessees can use $1,000 engine lease cash to get this Silverado for around $449 a month, or get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories.
Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times for sexual assault and harassment. Women said they were groped and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Those who spoke out were fired. Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as governor?
Right now, another disruptive day in court for the Christmas parade suspect. How the judge could address the issue and keep the trial moving.
Also, some promising news in the battle to remove PFAS from water. The science that's driving the new research.
Temperatures into the 40s, headed out the door, not too shabby. Another mild day before frost is on the horizon.
Good Wednesday morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Leah Lynchide. Happy Wednesday. You're making it halfway through the week so far. It's going to be another beautiful day on tap. A little bit of cloud cover. Perhaps a harbinger of what's to come for that frost.
Yeah, we do have some frost that is going to be on the way. And so I'm wanting to take today to make sure everyone is prepared for that. So stay tuned throughout this half hour. We're going to be giving you a checklist to make sure that you are ready for that frost. But a comfortable morning starting now. 50 in Mineral Point. It is 51 for our friends in Viroqua, Watertown, one of those cooler spots at 39. You get to Janesville. That's where the temperature's at 43, 39 in Watoma as well. 43 for us right here at Dane County Regional, too. Low 40s is generally the theme throughout the Madison Metro. Mount Horeb has been warmer. You're at 49. You were at 50 at one point. Sauk City, the cool spot, dropping down to 39 at this point as well. That being said, a beautiful look to that sky. We're going to see more of that cloud cover filtering in throughout the day, and eventually you'll start to see a little bit more moisture. Some raindrops can't be ruled out overnight tonight into tomorrow. But look for another mild afternoon with highs at 70. We're going to break down that frost potential and how you can prepare for it, along with timing it out, coming up.
And thanks, Chris. This morning, we are learning more about the option the judge in the Christmas parade attack trial has to move things forward after yet another contentious day in court.
Our Shane Hogan is in studio with some of those options and then what we can expect moving forward this week. Good morning, Shane.
Good morning, Leah. Darrell Brooks, the man accused of killing 6 in Waukesha, continued to interrupt Judge Doro in court yesterday. Take a listen.
Your Honor, I do not.
That's the 4th interruption.
I do not understand.
I would like to actually get to some of the merits of the things that you raised yesterday. So if you'd like to stop interrupting me, I will do that. One of the things that I will address.
I would like an answer to my question, Your Honor.
Now, this comes after Doro had to call 10 recesses on Monday due to Brooks's behavior. So we're asking a local defense attorney what the judge's options are to deal with his behavior and move the process along. Jessa Nicholson says there are 2 likely options here. In the first option, Judge Doro could appoint a so-called standby counsel lawyer that would serve as an assist to Brooks when it comes to legal questions and proceedings. That person wouldn't act as a full defense attorney for Brooks, though, because remember, he is representing himself. An important note here, an appointment of standby counsel would not delay the trial. Nicholson says the more likely option, though, is to continue sending Brooks out of the courtroom and having him participate only when he's needed. That way, she could turn off his microphone when he isn't speaking, essentially the more modern approach to a gag order in court. Nicholson believes Brooks will push for a mistrial, but that Judge Doro will do everything she can to not let that happen. So some really good insights here from an expert in this field on a very high-profile case.
Yeah, really interesting analysis there. Shane Hogan, thank you very much. That jury trial, by the way, is scheduled to start tomorrow on Thursday.
In other top headlines this morning, the parents of a baby who died with 13 times the amount of fentanyl needed to kill an adult in their bloodstream is due back in court later today.
25-year-old Derek Hawkins and 23-year-old Kelsey Kinsey both face a felony charge of neglecting a child resulting in death. A criminal complaint outlines 8 instances in which Dane County Child Protective Services received reports about the baby being abused or neglected. The couple's preliminary hearing is scheduled for this afternoon.
Now to the ongoing legal battle over abortion. At the Capitol, a second special session was called yesterday to consider changing the state's abortion law. And as expected, it went nowhere.
October 2022 special
That was the entire special session in the state Senate. The Assembly basically did the same thing. Democrats in the room visually upset with how it all played out after the session was called by Governor Tony Evers.
6:34, Wisconsin is one of 16 states with an abortion ban that has very limited exceptions. Doctors say there are real consequences to that. One issue is pregnant women who face cancer.
My doctors, they said, you don't have to have an abortion. However, if you start treatment, you will miscarry. And if you miscarry because of your medical situation, it could be fatal.
At 11 weeks pregnant, Diana Mock was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. If she didn't start treatment quickly, doctors warned she could only have 2 months to live. Her situation was a medical emergency, but in states where there's an exception for medical abortions, the gray areas leave doctors waiting to provide care.
We're seeing physicians who are waiting for lawyers to tell them whether it's appropriate in order to decide what type of medical treatment to give these patients.
According to the American Cancer Association, about 1 in 1,000 pregnant women is diagnosed with cancer.
The Iowa County daycare worker charged with homicide in the death of a child in her care is due back in court today. Joanna Ford has a status conference. A criminal complaint says that a 4-month-old named Wyatt Hamlin died a week after he was injured while at Ford's at-home daycare. The medical examiner's office says abusive head trauma killed the boy. Ford is also facing charges of neglect of other kids in the case.
We're learning more about a fatal crash in Dane County that happened last night. It took place on Highway 12 at the intersection of 188, just south of Sauk City. A driver was turning left onto eastbound 12 when it was hit by another vehicle traveling west. That vehicle flipped. The 33-year-old female driver was ejected and killed. The highway had to be closed for several hours. It reopened last night around 8:30.
Officials from the McFarland School Board announced they will accept the resignation of the high school's associate principal following her use of a racial slur. In her resignation letter, former administrator Ann Nichols wrote that she said the N-word while asking a clarifying question when one student brought a concern that another student had said that word to them. She wrote, quote, "While I immediately recognized my mistake and apologized, I acknowledge the impact that hearing this word can have." Meantime, a petition for her removal gained 600 signatures after the incident.
Some good news from the Dane County Regional Airport this morning. Researchers say there are less PFAS on that land thanks to a successful pilot program. This is pretty interesting. The so-called forever chemicals, they can make their way into our well water, and they're considered toxic if we consume them. They're pretty prevalent around airports because they're heavily concentrated in firefighting foams as a way to prevent and fight fires. Researchers say they found a new ally, though, to get rid of these PFAS from waterways by using microbes. So these microbes, described as bioabsorbent sponges, are able to break down the complex chemicals into the soil. Through that process, the group reached a 97% reduction rate over the 9-month study. Researchers think those promising results will continue to happen over time at the site while those microbes are still present.
President Biden and the First Lady will be in Florida today to survey the damage from Hurricane Ian. Meanwhile, rescuers in Fort Myers Beach are still searching for survivors.
If we have a structure like this that is collapsed, we would try to do a quick assessment, call out. If nobody has answered, we'd mark it as a home that has collapsed. And we do that throughout the entire island, and then we come back for what we call our primary search. Primary search will consist of actually being able to walk into the home to see if there's anybody there.
Crews have set up a base camp with mobile showers and porta potties while taking shifts looking for more survivors. This morning, the storm has claimed more than 100 lives. 6:38 now on your Wednesday. Taking a look outside this morning. We are tracking this incident here that might slow down your morning commute. We'll have an update on that, plus your forecast as rain is in the forecast for southern Wisconsin and some cold air that's to follow.
And a report on domestic violence in Wisconsin with some alarming results. It's coming up right after the break.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
Maybe these guys will buy our house.
What could go wrong?
Like rookie home buyers who can lower or cancel offers without notice. We Buy Ugly Houses won't reduce or cancel our firm cash offers before closing. Call or click to sell quick.
The women I see have been through brutal,
unimaginable things. I'll never understand why politicians like Ron Johnson make it so hard for women. He supported the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade, outlawing abortion in Wisconsin. Even for victims of rape and incest, abortion is criminalized in Wisconsin. Doctors can be prosecuted. My most vulnerable patients will have nowhere to turn. Ron Johnson doesn't care about us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
McGann Furniture and Flooring in Baraboo has a question for you. Have you ever bought furniture in a box and then had to put it together yourself? We know it's not fun. At McGann's, everything is professionally inspected and assembled before pickup or delivery. Goodbye headaches, and there's no extra charge for assembly. And remember, at McGann's, we don't raise prices only to lower them later for a sale. Stop in soon and discover the difference. McGann Furniture and Flooring, downtown Baraboo.
It's our biggest sale of the year. Get back to your health and fitness goals by joining Anytime Fitness for just $1 now through October 7th. Let us help you turn no I can't into yes I can. Now through October 7th, join Anytime Fitness for just $1. Hurry in today.
It's easier to manage my chemo side effects since the Grace Supportive Care came to see me. They're taking the time to listen and talk about options for feeling better.
A Grace, caring every step of the way.
Tim Michael's company has been sued numerous times for sexual assault and harassment in the workplace. But he says
people love working at Michael's.
Women said they were groped, assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses.
We have a great work culture.
Higher-ups called the women liars and fired those who spoke out. So when he says this,
we have a great work culture,
know that the culture comes from the top.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
Maybe she could sell her house.
What could go wrong?
Like listing your house, then dealing with all the trouble, expense, not to mention closing costs. We Buy Ugly Houses can buy your house fast for all cash as is with no hassle. Call or click to sell quick.
Fall TV is back on WISC-TV. Tonight, watch an all-new Survivor, followed by the series premiere of The Real Love Boat and a new amazing race. Then it's News 3 Now at 10. A local couple gets unemployment help during the pandemic and ends up accused of fraud.
It seems like the state would much rather have had us go out of business.
Naomi Coles learns what started their nightmare and why they're fighting back. News 3 Now investigates, Thursday at 6. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Hi, Chris. This is Tom in Mount Horeb. Chris, plan my day.
Well, good morning, Tom in Mount Horeb. It has been so far a comfortable morning, and you all have been one of the warm spots that we have seen across southern Wisconsin. I mean, even at the moment, Watoma's coming in at 39. Mount Horeb is going to be warmer than that with temperatures more so at 49. You were at 50 at one point, but we've seen that temperature drop back down into the upper 40s. Still, a comfortable morning as you head out the door in Mount Horeb. An orange look to the sky. You know what they say, red skies at morning. There's science to that. We are seeing cloud cover. That will be on the increase as we go throughout the day, and this is why you have a little bit more of that red sunrise this morning. 43 is the official temperature at the Dane County Regional Airport there. This is a Doppler track. We're quiet, but you know the sailors take warning point of that. It's there for a reason. We do have some showers trying to move in from the west. They do have some drier air to fight, so these showers aren't going to move in immediately, but they are a sign of what is to come. That is the colder air that will be filtering its way in to end the week. It will be downright chilly moving into Friday and this weekend. A freeze is going to be possible Friday night into Saturday. So I want to take a moment and show you some of the ways you can prepare for a possible freeze, especially if you are, you know, a green thumb or like me, a not so green thumb, and you need some tips to help you out. That being said, harvest any warm season crops. I'm certain our farmers are on that, but take care of that. Water any dry soil. That water is going to help protect the soil moisture from those elements there, along with covering any tender plants. You have some tomato plants that you're not quite ready to pick them yet. Go ahead and cover those. Otherwise, pinch off any flowers or buds. That'll help the plant focus all of its energy into protecting what it needs to protect, and then mulch any soil or bring in any potted plants. Let's show you how some of those rain chances may begin to play out by the way. This is noon today. Again, a couple showers might try to show up to the west. There's some drier air to fight initially. By the time you get towards 4 o'clock, temperatures are around 70. We're seeing a better chance of some showers to the west at that point. Our better rain chances really don't move in until the overnight hours or at some point in the late morning tomorrow. Look at those showers arriving from the north and west. But at this point, it's about 10:30 into the afternoon. So we do have a chance for that rain on Thursday, more so late morning. Then we'll go down to 38 Thursday night, 48 for Friday, then 32. So again, Friday night into Saturday, that's the night that you really want to make sure that you get those plants protected. And then we're still pretty chilly Saturday night into Sunday as well.
Okay, Chris Reese, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Just about 6:45 now. Around this time every year, the Violence Policy Center publishes the most recent edition of its annual study, Why Men Murder Women. Wisconsin ranks 8th in the nation for intimate partner violence. This updated report, nothing short of alarming. McKenna Alexander reports.
The Violence Policy Center's latest study paints a picture of Wisconsin that's difficult to believe but important to understand. Using data from the FBI's Supplementary Homicide Report, the study found in 2020 the national domestic violence homicide rate for 100,000 females was 1.34. In the same year, Wisconsin reported a rate of 2.05, equating to 60 victims. That number may not seem much until you look at previous years. From 2019 to 2020, there was a 150% increase in Wisconsin domestic violence homicides. From 2015 to 2020, a 250% increase. And from 2010 to 2020, a 300% increase. Advocates attribute Wisconsin's high rate of domestic violence homicide to 4 main things. The first, access to guns. And Domestic Abuse Wisconsin's 2021 homicide report found of the perpetrators that used a firearm to murder an intimate partner, over 1/3 were not legally able to possess one.
The ability to obtain that firearm is a huge hindrance and leads to more perpetration.
Next, not enough protection for victims.
A lot of times what we see is someone will file a restraining order and there is a form that you can fill out to surrender firearms. And so oftentimes perpetrators who are allowed to have guns keep their guns because they hunt.
Third, a lack of understanding when it comes to domestic abuse.
Perpetrators need to be held accountable and victims need to be helped and not shamed.
And finally, awareness.
People need to step up and people need to realize that this is happening in your neighborhood.
McKenna Alexander reporting for us this morning. We've linked both domestic violence reports referenced in this story over on channel3000.com.
6:46. Pretty Woman the Musical's coming to the Overture this fall, and we are celebrating with a way to get you there. The show runs October 18th through the 23rd. And we're giving away hundreds of dollars in gift cards and tickets.
Daily prizes include $100 gift cards to Needed Relief Spa and Wellness, plus a pair of tickets to the show. The grand prize is a $500 gift card and those tickets. All you have to do is go to our contest page and register. That's channel3000.com/contests. Okay, it's 6:47 now. Coming up in the morning sprint, a local community investigating who damaged several headstones in an area cemetery.
First, though, if you have a little kiddo turning 3 soon, let us know so we can show their picture on TV. We'll be right back.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Warrens, Wisconsin.
It's Wow Wednesdays at Hy-Vee. This Wednesday, fresh ground beef, only $1.88 for a 1-pound roll. And Hy-Vee macaroni and cheese, only 19 cents. Wednesday only. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Ron Johnson caught lying. Independent fact checks call his attacks on Mandela Barnes false and misleading. But it's Johnson's views that are alarming. Johnson supported a ban on abortions. He co-sponsored a bill that makes no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And Johnson said if women don't like it, they can move. The truth is, it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
Here at Precision, we are veteran-owned, and we take pride in servicing not only our community, but serving our country as well. No job is too big and no job is too small. Here at Precision, we'll fix them all.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Wells Fargo lets you know where you stand with your FICO credit score. What if you knew where you stood with everything, like your future in-laws?
Hope you like cats.
I hope your parents like me. nostalgic, tears of joy.
Welcome to the family.
Like knowing where you stand? When it comes to your credit score, you can with Wells Fargo.
This fall into comfort with an affordable living room from Bob's Discount Furniture, like my Avenger Power Collection. Get the Power Reclining Sofa or the Power Reclining Console Love Seat in black or gray for my everyday low price of $9.99, with many financing options available. You'll love the convenient USB ports, cup holders, and storage space galore. With savings this great, the whole family can relax at the touch of a button. Bob's Discount Furniture. Fall into comfort. Ooh, nice.
Get Bob's Discount!
One small step. One big surprise. A yummy treat. Out of this world toys and more fun with A Play Do to ignite their discovery of space. Kinder Joy.
Mass shootings, school shootings, and violent crime are on the rise. And Ron Johnson is making things worse. He abandoned law enforcement, voting against funding for the police, preventing local departments from hiring more officers, but supported flooding our streets with guns and making it easier for violent criminals and domestic abusers to get them. Ron Johnson is failing to keep us safe. Everytown for Gun Safety Victory Fund is responsible for the content of this ad.
It's Wow Wednesdays at Hy-Vee. This Wednesday, 3 pounds of Halos Mandarin Oranges, only $2.99. And Brawny Paper Towels, only $2.99. Wednesday only. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
Reality Check, tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
6:50, time for the morning sprint.
The 115th Fighter Wing in Madison is bidding farewell to its final F-16 at Truex Field today. The jets are moving out to make way for the new F-35s. They're expected to arrive in Madison in the spring of this upcoming year. Officials said some F-16s from other units will stay at Truex Field temporarily in order to conduct training while the 115th transitions.
In Columbia County, the Sheriff's Department is asking for your help finding out who damaged several headstones at a rural cemetery. It happened at the Newport Lutheran Church Cemetery off Peterson Road. Anyone with information is asked to call police.
Candidate for U.S. Senate Mandela Barnes hitting the campaign trail on a Ron Against Roe tour of Wisconsin. In Madison yesterday, he met with the Moms for Mandela Coalition. He says it's a way to keep Senator Ron Johnson accountable for his record on abortion access. He'll also be making stops in Racine, Eau Claire, and Milwaukee.
Senator Johnson again repeating his claim that the January 6th attack in the U.S. Capitol was not an armed insurrection. At the Rotary Club of Milwaukee yesterday, he added that protesters, quote, did teach us how you can use flagpoles, that kind of stuff, as weapons. The senator has repeatedly downplayed the seriousness of the riot.
In the race for governor, the Tavern League of Wisconsin throwing its support behind Republican Tim Michaels. The group endorsed him yesterday at a campaign event at a bar in Baraboo. As a business owner, they say they believe Michaels understands their needs, calling out Governor Evers for his extended pandemic restrictions against businesses. Some breaking news from a Big Ten campus this morning. Purdue University confirms a student is dead after an early morning homicide in a residence hall. The suspect is in custody this morning. That person is identified as the victim's roommate. There is no active threat to campus. The investigation ongoing. We will bring you updated information via our Channel 3000 mobile app and channel3000.com.
There are no current threats against UW Health, police say, after they were targeted by an anti-LGBTQ+ Twitter account. The Libs of TikTok account has targeted gender service programs across the country, leading to harassment and even bomb threats. 2 weeks ago, they took aim at UW Health's gender affirmation programs. Police investigated and found there's no direct security threat that came against UW Health. Twitter, though, did suspend the account for 7 days.
The White House says politics will not play a role when President Biden visits Fort Myers this morning in the wake of Hurricane Ian. He'll meet with first responders and local residents, and with Governor Ron DeSantis, one of the president's most prominent Republican critics. Meanwhile, power crews say it will be more than a month before some customers have their service restored.
Bucks in 6. That's what GMs think in the NBA. The Bucks came out on top in an annual GM survey. 43% of GMs in the league have the Bucks winning it all, even over the defending champs, Golden State. The preseason in action right now. Regular season tips off October 20th.
Aaron Judge is the home run king of the American League. The New York Yankees slugger hit his 62nd home run last night off of Texas Rangers pitcher Jesus Tinoco. Judge passes Roger Maris's record set in 1961, which he was tied with for almost a week. It's the most homers for any ball player since 2001 during the so-called steroid era.
U.S. home prices continue to fall. According to new data from analytics company Black Knight, July and August saw the largest single-month price decline since 2009. It comes as inventory stalls, with potential sellers not putting their houses on the market, and potential home buyers are also holding off as interest rates rise.
Country music legend Loretta Lynn has died. Known as the Queen of Country Music, she passed away at her Tennessee home this week. Her 7-decade-plus career in music started shortly after she picked up a $17 guitar from Sears. By 1970, she'd written the autobiographical Coal Miner's Daughter, which became her signature song. Loretta Lynn was 90 years old.
Russia's defense minister says the military has called up 200,000 reservists and has begun training them as part of its partial mobilization to support its war against Ukraine. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky says that he will no longer negotiate after Russia's fraudulent annexation of several regions.
There are fewer places to pick up a paycheck in the U.S. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reporting there were 10.1 million job openings last month. That's down more than 1 million available positions compared to July. It's the lowest it's been since June of 2021.
We, of course, still do need any gently used kids' jackets, snowsuits, mittens, hats, scarves, and snow pants for our Coats for Kids drives. You can donate by dropping this off to any Cliquey Cleaners between now and October 8th. A good way to do it is right now and dropping that off because we do have a big cold front on the way. 46 is where our temperature stands now. We will warm up towards 70 for your high later on this afternoon, but it's the extended forecast where we really begin to see a drop in those temperatures. 48 is your high on Friday, down to 32. Friday night into Saturday. Even next week, we'll see another cold front come through that brings those temperatures out of the 60s.
Plans should really come in over the weekend then, huh?
Yes, bring them in this weekend if you can.
Chris Reese, thank you.
Bring a blanket to Friday Night Football.
Yeah.
I would.
Thanks for watching another news and weather update here in 30 minutes.